Hello, my name is Mona and I'm a Melbourne civil marriage celebrant. In this video, I'm hoping to take you through the details of how to run a Chinese tea ceremony. If you refer to my second video in regards to setting up for the tea ceremony, you would see that it's very important to consider what the setup is for the day. As the person running the tea ceremony, you need to consider where to stand so you do not block the couple and you don't block the photographers and videographers. You also need to ask parents details such as what kind of tea they want and if they need anything in the tea. Quite commonly, parents will ask for red dates, Chung-Chao, to be in their tea because it's a symbolism of good luck. But there are lots of other things that parents might demand to be in that cup, and it's best to ask them and make sure. Because every culture differs. There are so many different Chinese customs, and especially if you live overseas, your parents might originally be from China or Hong Kong, but they have friends from Taiwan and Malaysia. And I have found in my years of experience of running tea ceremonies, lots of different cultures get added in. And I actually think that's a good thing, but just make sure you check with the parents first. Another thing to consider is who needs to receive cups of tea and in what order. Traditionally, it's parents first, grandparents, and then aunties and uncles, great aunties and uncles, then older cousins. How many cups of tea? Usually the bride or groom gives a tea, and then the bride or groom gives a tea. But when it's aunties and uncles, you might want to ask, is it okay to use paper cups? And is it okay if both the bride and groom give the same cup of tea to the person receiving it in one go? That will save you time and that will save you effort. Another thing to consider is whether or not the newlyweds need to kneel. Traditionally, you kneel for your parents, aunties and uncles, grandparents, and great aunts and great uncles. But again, it's up to the couple and up to the parents. Just make sure you ask ahead of time. Quite often, people ask, what about the younger members of the families, like the cousins or the nephews and nieces and younger siblings? There are actually quite a few cultures where the younger members of the family would give tea to the couple. Whether or not that's part of your tradition is up to you. As long as the parents think it's okay and you think it's a good idea, I think go for it. As the person running the tea ceremony, you need to make sure just a few details that you need to think about. After you give a cup for the couple to present and you take it back, you probably need to make sure there's someone there on the side to help you quickly pour out and rinse out the cup to have it ready for the next people who needs to receive their tea. Quite often you would have one of the bridesmaids or a cousin to help you just behind you where they're out of the way but can quickly tune through the cups for you. Quite often for Cantonese speaking relatives and families, they want what we have lucky sayings as part of their Chinese tea ceremonies. It's a great idea to lighten the mood of the ceremony, and often it's said after the tea has been received. Some examples of lucky sayings would be 飲茶飲多啲，新娘子生多啲。飲茶笑呵呵，好快做婆婆。今年娶新抱，下年有孫抱。Now that you've received your cup of tea, your son's going to quickly make it an extra family of 3. Happy with that?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you like any of those, you can always find the internet, or you can actually just go to my website for some of my favorite sayings for the bride's family and for the groom's family. If you found any of these tips useful, please head on over to my website. But please know that everything I have covered in these videos is only the tip of the iceberg. You really should consider hiring a professional to assist you on the day to cover all the details and aspects to make your tea ceremony special and memorable and fun.